We also know that Web3 and blockchain are a great way to bring the financial system into the 21st century. I think I've said that like 100 times in the spaces that I've been with you guys.
Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX in-depth research video breakdown. Today, we're going to be tapping into Hedera Hashgraph's Hbar. Make sure that you guys buckle up. I'm going to be showing you all that Hedera is 110% tapped in with the elite cabal in this digital transformation, which we're living through right now, this fourth industrial revolution. We've been attempting to tell you guys there is a massive transformative shift happening right before our very eyes, and so many people are not paying attention. People were sleeping on Hbar when it was trading at 4 to 6 cents just a couple of weeks ago. Now it's trading relatively higher than that, and people are still sleeping on the price of the digital asset Hbar and the role that it's going to play in the future moving forward. None of this is financial advice, but again, I'm going to go down the rabbit hole, show you guys how Hbar and Hedera is tapped in to what is happening behind the scenes via this digital transformation, this climate change, ESG narrative and agenda. I mean, if you guys haven't been tracking what's going on, again, you guys can check out previous video breakdowns on our YouTube. But man, wow, there's so much happening. To be able to put it all into one video breakdown is relatively impossible, but I'm going to do my best to show you guys what's taking place. So first, I'm going to present a video clip of Mance Harmon. Okay. And he goes on to say this is from about 10 months ago, only has 206 views. This is when I really started to pay attention to Hbar. At the same exact time, Hbar, at the time that I was starting to pay attention to it very heavily, it actually became one of my biggest portions of my portfolio. I was trading at about 4 to 6 cents, give or take. But just listen here what Mance Harmon has to say about the role that Hedera is going to play in the future of this whole massive digital transformation. Take a second and listen.
We created a platform. It's called Hedera Hashgraph. It's built on Hashgraph instead of blockchain, but it's a basic, what we call layer one platform that enables developers to build decentralized applications to realize that overarching vision. That vision is going to be realized in every sector of the industry. I mean, what you hear about a lot is the finance sector, but it's much broader than that. It's going to be in finance, it's going to be in real estate, it's going to be in supply chain use cases, and et cetera, et cetera. Every part of the internet, every sector of society is going to be affected by this technology and this model in this new version of the internet that's being created. And Hedera is one of those players.
Right. I mean, he literally just said every sector of the economy is going to be affected by this digital transformation. Okay. And Hedera is going to be one of those players. So this pertains to every single individual listening to this, whether you like it or not. And I mean, no matter which way you look at it, whether it's finance, real estate, tokenization of real world assets, I mean, it's going to be so massive that I don't think people really understand what is happening, what's taking place behind the scenes. So again, we're tapped in here at CYPRX. We pick up on details. It's so interesting to watch all this stuff unfold. So check this out. All right. We posted this to you guys on November 18th, 2024, a couple days ago. All right. However, we came across this via the CYPRX researchers days before that. But I said to you guys in this post, Hedera and Ripple on the front cover of Timeline to MiCA Compliance 2024 report, December 2024, and also mentions 2027. I gave you guys the link to download this report, but you can see here the front page of this report, right? I noticed that Aptos, Hedera, and Ripple were the digital asset token pictures that they decided to put on the front of this report, okay? Now, fast forward to today, look what Cointelegraph posted. Just in, Archax adds tokenized money market funds from State Street, Fidelity, and LGIM, launching on Hedera and XRPL, right? Do you think that that's a coincidence? I don't think so, ladies and gentlemen, okay? This stuff, whatever way you want to paint it, is interconnected in some way, shape, or form. The web, the interconnected web, and the infrastructure that's being built behind the scenes that a lot of people can't see because they're so fixated on immediate price appreciation to benefit, their little tiny dopamine fix that they get from seeing tiny gains in this market. You have to understand the big picture that's being built right now. They're literally building an entire new financial system. There are so many factors that are going to play a role in this. So many people are not paying attention to this. So moving forward, all right, let's continue down this rabbit hole. Do you guys remember this video clip? I just posted this to you all. This is now where we're going to get into the nitty gritty of how Hedera is tapped the FN. Now, there's so much information that I wanted to pack into this video, but I wanted to try to keep this one under 20 minutes. So let's see if we can do that. I said to you guys here, don't ever forget that they said climate change will be their best friend in pushing for this digital transformation. Take a second and listen to this individual representative from the EPA Asia. This is a video that I posted over a year ago, tapping into this information again, and look at how well it's aging. Take a second here and let's listen.
What I would say from Singapore, at least anyway, is the MAS here, working very closely with other central banks to speed up the use of fast payments and common standards across all of the emerging economies. I think that's a really, really good place to be. And I'd actually say one of our best friends out there is actually the whole climate change agenda, because climate change will produce a wealth of data. It'll also harmonize some of our interests, whether it's social or political, globally. And so I think the combination of ESG, data, and then technological change on these wider closed loop systems is probably the best place we can be.
Okay, so two key vocabularies I want you guys to pay attention to. He said climate change agenda, and ESG, and how that's going to be their best friend to push and enact this digital transformation. All right. So I posted a little tiny video clip with this screen recording, a BIS report that we're going to get into from October 2024, talking about carbon credit emissions and tracking them for each individual and business entity. And then I'm going to show you guys how Hedera is tapped into this information by partnering with major organizations that are doing exactly that. But before we get into that, Sean over here on the X space, shout out to you for posting this. He said, breaking Hbar executive Ed Marquez, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, who is Ed Marquez. He is, give me a second, I'll get to his credentials in just 1 second, announces a massive upgrade coming to the consensus layer of Hedera, increasing its performance. Now, that obviously, of course, is massive. And he does talk about this. He talks about block nodes. It's in this little tiny recording here on Genzio Media, which we're going to get into in just 1 second. So I posted the screen. I listened to the whole thing. It's about an hour long. Okay. And I posted 2 video snippets from that Twitter live. I'm going to play the one video snippet because keep in mind the terminology ESG and climate change agenda. Okay. The second snippet here, I'm not going to play, but it is the snippet where Sean here in this post was talking about the Hedera upgrade, you know, doing over 10,000 transactions per second now, them enacting this thing called block nodes or whatever the case may be, and how this number could increase to 500,000 transactions per second in the future. If you guys want to listen to that and you want to hear this individual representative from Hedera, he's the head of development relations for Hedera, that gentleman, Ed. You guys can listen to this second video clip here. I have it posted on my X profile. I'm not going to play it for the sake of the length of this video breakdown. Back to the ESG agenda and the climate change narrative. Okay. Let me show you guys how Hedera is tapped in. So I said to you guys in this post, head of dev relations for Hedera confirms major optimism for the future ahead. What is he talking about? Same things that we've been stressing to you all pay attention to. Do you guys remember back in July, I posted that one X post where I said XRPL, Stellar, and Hedera never really had a massive DeFi ecosystem, and that's all going to continue to scale as we progress throughout the remainder of 2024 and head into 2025. I know I said that to you guys. Well, here in this little tiny video clip, what are they talking about? They're talking about DeFi. They're talking about yield aggregation. They're talking about ESG. They're talking about institutional access. They also talk about the transaction per second upgrades, right? These block nodes, okay? So I said in this post, Hedera knows DeFi is the new wave. Institutions and retail will want to continue to access these solutions securely, scalably, and fast. All right. So just listen to what he says here. Again, fixate your attention on the key vocabulary. He does mention DeFi, but for the sake of this video, we're not talking about DeFi. He says ESG. Take a second here and just listen to what Ed says.
Web3 and blockchain are a great way to bring the financial system into the 21st century. I think I've said that like 100 times in the spaces that I've been with you guys, but I truly believe that. And so we have this track for DeFi, right? For decentralized finance to explore maybe yield aggregation, to explore more lending and borrowing, to explore maybe new insurance models. things that may take advantage of, what blockchain can enable in this sector. And then we have, I don't want to give you too much detail here, but we also have tracks for green finance and sustainable finance. So everything that is ESG related, anything that has to do with carbon credits and offsets. And finally, the decentralized identity and verifiable credentials track. So if that's something that you're interested in, opportunity in that field, and then this track.
So we'll pause it right there. Okay. You guys heard him mention DeFi, decentralized finance. He talked about yield aggregation, right? We've been stressing to bring to everybody's attention that now is the time to learn how to get your digital assets working for you. But that's not the point of this video breakdown. Again, if you want to learn more about that, you guys can head over to the free playlist on the CYPRX platform labeled Yield. You can watch those video breakdowns, learn about it for free. And then if it interests you and you want to learn more, head over to CYPRXtrading.com. Come join our DeFi Wealth 28 Club University. You guys can use Holiday 28, all caps, no space, right now for 20% off your first month if you want to join the university and you want to learn about DeFi, because here you can clearly see individual representatives from Hedera mentioning DeFi. He said, again, blockchain, so on and so forth. It's going to be a way for us to, move institutional finance into this space.
We also know that Web3 and blockchain are a great way to bring the financial system into the 21st century. I think I've said that like 100 times.
And particularly for the sake of this video breakdown, okay, he mentioned ESG, he mentioned carbon credits, okay? So now let me freaking blow your mind, considering, again, what this gentleman said that I showed you guys months ago, literally months ago. I just reposted the video breakdown. I shared this for you guys, I don't know, probably over a year and a half ago, right? Where they said climate change is going to be their best friend for this digital transformation. You just cannot make this stuff up. The cabal, the elites out there, they literally tell you this stuff in advance, okay? So now let's fast forward. Check this out. This is something, again, that I posted to you guys just the other day. We found it a couple weeks ago, but I just posted it to you yesterday. This report from the BIS, all right? We're going to dig into this, but it mentions that carbon credits allow their owner to emit a certain amount of carbon dioxide or other greenhouse gases, implying that there could be a financial aspect to carbon emissions in the future as markets for carbon credits evolve and regulations become stricter. Keep in mind, at the beginning of this video, I shared with you all Mance Harmon mentioning that this is going to become a thing in every sector of the financial and global landscape in which we understand today, and Hedera is going to play a role in that, right? So in this report from the BIS, we're going to get into this, okay? Check this out. Here's the report right here. You can see BIS IFC report, Empowering Carbon Accounting from Data in Action. This is from October 2024. So it is updated. And if we scroll right down here, what does it talk about? Okay, executive summary. There's an increasing demand for a reliable and readily available information to manage the environmental impact of human behavior, in particular, enabling rational decision-making across the whole spectrum of climate policies requiring measuring the carbon content of economic activities. The term refers to direct and indirect emissions of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases created during the product of goods and services, the production of goods and services. The measurement and disclosure of carbon content will benefit many stakeholders, including companies, to move towards more climate-friendly production processes, consumers to better understand the environmental consequences of their purchases, investors to redirect financial resources towards climate-friendly investments, banks to better assess climate risks, and authorities to take appropriate policy action. Two, in its necessary condition for rational environmentally oriented decision. Like, you all see what's happening right now, okay? And what did Hedera just mention? What did Ed just mention that they're doing? Okay, ESG, carbon credits, greenhouse, okay? Now let's dig even further. If we head over to LinkedIn, LinkedIn has so much juicy information. What did Crypto Carbon Ratings Institute, the CCRI, just announced just a week ago? Okay, this is going to blow your mind. This just full circles everything. We are excited to announce a new partnership between the Hbar Foundation and Crypto Carbon Ratings Institute to assess the energy and carbon footprint of the Hedera network. The resulting of the project will include providing sustainability indicators for the Hedera network to all users and services providers that need such data, including MICA sustainability disclosure. And you guys remember, to full circle, what do we post to you guys, right? MICA timeline to compliance. Who's on the front freaking cover? Hedera, right here. Like, they tell you this stuff in advance. If you guys can't see it after little tiny research video breakdowns like this, I don't know what else to say. So it says, as part of this work, the CCRI will also be developing a methodology to support the Hedera Guardian in generating carbon emission tokens related to Hedera's network carbon footprint. This will facilitate carbon accounting for Hedera users by allowing them to allocate network emissions to their individual activities. And what did the BIS report just say, right? Go back to the BIS report. Where does it say individuals, climate-friendly production, consumers to better understand the environmental consequences of their purchases, investors to redirect financial resources towards climate-friendly investments, banks to better assess climate risk, and authorities to take appropriate policy action. Okay, do you all see? This is all going to start to happen. The measurement and disclosure of carbon content would benefit many stakeholders, right? And again, you know, here you can clearly see, and if we head over to the CCRI website, look at what it says right here. MICA readiness. Okay. If you are a token issuers and crypto asset service providers, you will be required to disclose adverse climate and environment related impacts under the markets and crypto assets MiCA regulation. Right. And if you scroll right up here, look who's involved. You got X right here. This is the XRPL logo. Okay. And you got the Hbar Foundation. Okay. You guys cannot make this stuff up. This all full circles. This is only going to continue to scale. The devil is literally in the details.
Validate assumptions. We actually learn a lot together. You know, the devil's always in the details, right?
They're not hiding any of this stuff. However, again, mainstream media is never going to show you any of this interconnected, intertwining web that they're creating right now behind the scenes. They're not. This is going to sideswipe so many regular individuals. Again, reverting back to the video breakdown that I first started this off with, of Mans Harman saying that this is going to be integrated into every sector of the global financial system in which we know today. This has 206 views, people. 206 views, okay? And I just showed you in some way, shape, or form, Hedera is tapped into information that the Bank of Central Banks, the BIS, is putting out, talking about carbon credits and ESG, all right? 206 views is embarrassing. This proves that nobody knows what's happening right now. So if you're watching this, you are part of, I wouldn't even say 1% of the population. It's less than that. It's like 0.0005% of the population knows about this stuff right now, considering that there's millions of people involved in crypto and billions of people on this earth. And this video in particular has 206 views. You think anybody in the retail sector right now, outside of CYPRX and maybe some other in-depth researchers, are reading Bank of International Settlement documents and putting all this together? No, absolutely not. So do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. Keeping you guys in the loop, showing you guys some very interconnected webs here, showing you all that Hedera is tapped in. Not financial advice. Again, some people don't like Hedera because they're opinionated and biased. I'm not here for that. I'm here for life-changing wealth, and Hedera is going to be a major player in this digital transformation, whether you like it or not, whether you like the token or not, whatever. That's besides the point. The point is that there is a massive digital transformation here happening behind the scenes, and there's so many ways that you can participate in it. And again, you need to dive in, you need to do research, you need to connect with like-minded communities like ours here at CYPRX. Again, lots of holiday discounts that we're chucking out right now for the CYPRX platforms. Head over to cyprxtrading.com, tap into those discounts. We'd love to have you on the team. Many blessings to you guys. If you guys enjoyed this quick research breakdown, going over Hedera, I think it's been a minute since I've made an Hbar Hedera video breakdown. Smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. And as always, be cognizant out there. Be aware. Make sure that you guys are Make sure that you all are continuing to do research. Stay tapped in, and I'll see you guys in the next video breakdown.
And Hedera is one of those players.